Hey, it's Captain C.A. Richardson from Flatsclass YouTube. Today's tip is going to be about the common drop shot rig, or what we like to call the Flatsclass rig when we use it for saltwater fishing. Stay tuned. Let's talk about the basics for the Flatsclass rig or the drop shot rig. Here I've got a piece of 25-pound monofilament leader, or you can use fluorocarbon, it doesn't matter. I've got it tied to the braid with an Albright knot, and then just below the Albright knot, probably about 12 inches, I've come through this circle hook. This is a 4/0 Mustad circle hook, and I've got a Z-Man trick shot bait rigged on it. I've got it threaded on there, and what you'd like to do is glue them so that they stay in place. After I make my Palomar knot, I take that long tag end and I pull it through the top and pull it all the way down, and I attach it to a bank sinker. The rod that I'm using today is rated for up to a 3/4 ounce weight, so I'm throwing this 3/4 ounce bank sinker. Now what this rig does when you see it all stretched out is it allows you to have a weight forward delivery system with a bait, especially in a Elastec bait like Z-Man, to have this bait float off the bottom, where I can make a super long cast and then I can just work this bait slowly over the top of the grass and keep it in the zone. It accomplishes two things. The bait doesn't get into the grass. I can cover a ton of water. Secondly, I can throw this thing so far. And a bait like such as this one, you can see the ribs on both sides of it on the trick shot. It does a fantastic job of holding scent. So if I apply copious amounts of ProCure or some type of fish attractant to this, and you can use natural bait, whether you'd want to put a small minnow on here or if you want to put a piece of cut bait on here, it works just as well. But you're talking about a really deadly combination here when you're targeting redfish or spooky redfish, where you have to make a long cast, you can't get in there, you've got schoolfish. You can drop this in past them, work it back to the group slowly, and just let it sit there. And just the scent coming off this bait and working the bait slow and knowing that the Elastec is buoyant, so it's just going to hold this hook up and it's just going to tantalizingly make that tail bounce up and down. You're going to catch a lot of fish. You can use this in a more vertical environment around bridges, around jetties, and it'll work just as good. But I like to use this on the flats. It works fantastic on fish. You need an overall length of about 3 feet of leader, 25 to 30 pound leader, anywhere from a 2 to a 4/0 circle hook. You might want to use a 2/0 hook for a small bait like this one, which would be the Slim Swims. But for the trick shot, I use a 4. But any of these baits work really well, whether you're using the Streaks, which is 3 3/4 inch bait. Another excellent choice is the scented Z-Man Curly Tail, which has a built-in action. So if you're fishing in current, the tail has always got some action on it. Take an old bass technique like the drop shot rig and turn it into a saltwater fish catching machine. I hope this tip helps you catch more fish this summer. Captain C.A. Richardson from Flatsclass YouTube, signing off.